Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's DaikenXDan here, bringing you another SINoALICE video. My first guide was a basic beginner overview, talking about the basics I think a new player should know. Now, this guide is going to be a little bit more in depth, talking about tips and tricks and the biggest mistakes I think a new player should avoid while playing and learning SINoALICE. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So basically, the first thing I want to talk about is a question I get a lot, and it's how to reroll. Now they're going to be making this a little bit more different. It's going to be made more efficient for the global release, so I'm actually not going to be talking about that. I want to wait until the game actually comes out, and I will tell you the actual global release method when it officially launches. So expect a reroll guide coming soon. Another question I get a lot is who you should reroll for when this happens, or basically what character should you be looking for inside of the gacha. Best thing about this game is there is no tier list. There's no tier list for this game. So you don't have to worry about that. You can play who you want. You play your favorite waifu or whoever character you think is cool. And you will get prompted with like a character choice after you do your first roll. But you don't have to worry about that, because when you clear the first mission to get one, you can basically get the job for all the characters that you see there, like in the picture you see right there. So this game is very free to play friendly with that in mind. So definitely look forward to another good free-to-play game, which I'm happy that this one is, because I definitely want to play this one. Another thing I want to talk about that I mentioned in my other video was character jobs. So jobs are different versions of each character that ties them to different roles by what weapons they can equip as their main weapon arm. So why do you want a lot of jobs? Mainly because they apply buffs when you level them up. So the buffs are applied and they are shared on an account basis. So if you get a buff for specific job and you get another character, the character can also use those buffs because they can be account wide, so you could definitely benefit from those as well. So having a lot of jobs and leveling them up can help your account out a lot because of that. And job effect stacking can continue for all the jobs available, so you can actually stack these effects. So if one jobs have a similar effect to another when you level it up, they actually can stack, so that's also another good thing. Like I said, I do have another video, so you can check out the other guide for a full explanation for actually how all that works. But just for a quick overview, DPS weapons are broken down into physical and magical DPS, and the weapons are broken down further into single target and multi-target weapon classes. There are support weapons, and they mainly do things such as healing, buffing, and debuffing, and those can have single target and multi-target versions as well. And this game also has a weapon grid. So what is a weapon grid? It's basically like your pool of weapons that you can have, basically your loadout. So you have your main weapon, which must be appropriate for the job, for the characters you're using, and then you can have a bunch of other like sub weapons that give your characters additional stat bonuses and stuff like that. You want to even out your leveling for your weapons, so you don't have one strong hitting attack and like the rest being rather weak in comparison. So if I have one strong weapon, then the other ones, because these are tied to your weapon skills, which we'll talk about in a bit. You don't want to have one that it has like a very strong weapon skill, so you hit like really hard with your double S, and then like your A's and your like regular S weapons don't do as much damage because you only put everything into one weapon. You want to even it out so you have a decent amount of damage in every single weapon. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, this game does have energy. I heard some people thinking that this game actually don't have energy for some reason. It does. Energy in this game is in the form of AP, so I'm guessing it means action points like most of them. It charges at a rate of 1 AP every 3 minutes, which isn't that bad actually. That's actually pretty good. Definitely seen worse when it comes to certain gacha games. So there is a method for getting extra AP, like a burst of AP, and that is the cleaning mechanic in the game. So for cleaning, I've found the best way is to drag your finger across for like the faster movement. The idea behind the game is you want to hit as many of the same color enemies in a row. So you want to hit like all the red ones together, and then you want to hit the blue ones. Now there are orbs you can see down there to kind of like hollowed out, but as you fill them up, they turn, I believe, like orange color, and you get access to an ultimate. Once you get the ultimate, you can use it to like basically like clear a room pretty fast. Now the idea behind it, that the general consensus typically seems to be, is that you want to spend it early in order to get multiple ults. So rather than getting one ult and staying in for like a big room, you want to get like 2 ults out. So you want to spend it early and hope that you use it on 2 big rooms, because you don't know whenever it's RNG for like how many enemies are in the room. So you want to sort of like just base it on RNG and try to like use it efficiently and get more than one ultimate within a cleaning run. So that's the idea behind that. Now I want to talk about the combat of the game. So understanding the weapons and the pictures behind the weapons. So the weapon icons have a lot of information within it. So the color is the elemental advantage, what we'll talk about in just a second. So you see right here, the one on the left, that one is red, that one's fire. And then you have the blue one, which is water right there. The top right icon tells you the weapon type. And then there is the single target and multi-target. So the single target icon is the little one person on the left icon, and the multi-hitting target is the one on the right. Obviously, the bottom left icon tells you how much the, what's the rarity of the item. And then the number right above that is going to be the SP amount, which I will talk about again later. There's also weapon effects. So weapon effects are things that obviously are going to tell you a little bit more about the weapon. So the sword icon is going to be damage. The heart icon is going to be heals. The up arrows is going to be buff, and the down arrows is going to be debuffs. The weapons that I'm showing right there don't have it, but those icons typically appear in the bottom right. So right beside the little person icon, to the right of that, you'll see where these icons are usually placed right there. Now there's other status effects as well. So on the character themselves, like right beneath them, you'll see like a bunch of different icons. If they're red, that means you're getting the buffs, and if they're blue, that means they're getting debuff. Now the two on the left, those are for physical. So the one on the left is the attack, and the one on the right is the defense of the physical. And then the ones on the right are your magical. You see they look like a little wand there. The one on the left is the attack, magical attack, and the one on the right, the one on the right is the magical defense. So that's how that works for that. And like I said, they're going to be right underneath the character when you're playing. Now there is a green circle that's in the game as well. The green circle is basically the cooldown. So whenever you use a weapon skill or you use the basic attack within the game, you'll see this little bar that goes around your character, or this little circle that goes around your character, and that's letting you know when you can do your next action. So if you're playing as fast as possible and you're playing to the point where you want to always be active as soon as it's done, then that's letting you know exactly when your cooldown ending. So just some good information to have in the game. Also, additional information, if you hold a weapon skill icon, it will bring up information on the weapon skill itself, so you know how to use it. So if you get exactly what this weapon skill does, you just hold it and it'll tell you exactly how that weapon skill, what that weapon skill does pretty much. Now there is the combat mechanics. So basic attacks, basically you tap the enemy and then you tap them again and you can use a basic attack. This will take up 10 SP. By the way, you have at the start, I believe it's like 200 SP. I don't know if you can actually, remember if you can actually change the amount or you gain more, but 200 SP is what I've seen some people have, and that's what I that's what you start off with. It can be good for saving weapon skills or managing SP for doing basic attacks, but you want to use it efficiently. It's not always the thing that you want to do, but you can use it sometimes, and it can help you out if you want to manage in some ways. Now, of course, like we were talking about before, the weapon skill. So every weapon skill has an SP amount right there, like I said before, right above the SS. So that weapon right there costs 19 SP points. It also has a cooldown, and like I said, you can tell the cooldowns of weapons by the green circle that goes. And basically to utilize these, you want to tap the enemy and then the desired weapon skill. Keep in mind that you want to keep the element advantage going, so don't forget about element advantage. And running out of weapon costs. So if you want to resupply your weapons, you cost 20 SP to resupply them. There's also the nightmares as well, so they take a lot of SP, as you can see right there. Just the A version costs 50 SP to use that. And then of course the SP recharge. So SP does regen, and it regens at around 10 SP for every 5 seconds in the game at the moment. And that's pretty much it. One other thing that I did want to mention before we end this video today is that, of course, like I was mentioning before about the element system, there is fire, there's water, and then there's wind. So fire is going to beat wind, wind is going to beat water, and water is going to beat fire. So that's the elemental triangle or cycle or whatever, and how it works in this game. Anyway, like I said, I just wanted to make another guide for you all, talking about some tips and tricks and stuff that you guys use at the beginning of the game, so you know exactly what to expect when this game launches very shortly. Anyway, if you like anything I had to say, drop me a like. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to hear more from me, follow me on my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know the next video goes live. As always, my name is Daiken, and I'll see you next time. Signing out.